A colleague's just performed a midlife review and it's helped me sort of think what my next move is, help me identify my skills that I can use for the future and help me identify skills that I want to develop in the future as well. So it's been really useful.
Things I wanted to discuss really were sort of finding out my strengths and weaknesses within the workplace, which I think it did highlight quite clearly.
Because they make you look at yourself. What do you know? What would you like to know? And what you do know but you don't realise you know. It changes the whole perspective. Once you put those cards in order, you think, I do know that. Well, I didn't think I did. And it's just different skills.
I think a lot of people who I speak with on a day-to-day basis don't have a lot of self-confidence, and I think using this process we can really help people map out how the best they can get on and help give them confidence in realising that they do actually have some employable skills.
I found it helpful myself using the cards in that it allowed me to question my own strengths and my own weaknesses and to work out, where I personally could improve. So I found it helpful in that respect. Yeah.
I think it would be very valuable for me to look at that at the present time, especially with the work situation I'm in at the moment. And I think, like you say, it's changing times we're living as well. So yes, it would certainly benefit me without a doubt.
I did use the transferable skill cards, and it sort of enabled me to look at my own particular situation, and it's sort of helping me to make plans for my future.
The idea is to not let them think about each individual card, but look at it, see what it was, and put it down instinctively where they think it should go. And you've got a better result than those that sat there looking at it thinking, where could this go, where should it go?
People to allow you into their world and find out a little bit more, I think is absolutely fascinating.
The people who were people skilled, it showed they were people skilled. And those that do computers, it showed that they were more data orientated than otherwise, and it made them think about it.
I was quite surprised by the transferable skills that came up on the review. And also the outcome has been that I've taken on a level 5 diploma.
Some of the key issues that we encountered, the main one was in regards to CVs and job application skills. That's one that came out from our branch and our careers review. Other issues were in regards to IT, people upskilling their IT skills because of the changes within the department. Mainly Excel, for example, that people need training on Excel to enable them to increase and move up the promotion ladder, because all the new jobs that are coming out require Excel skills. So that was one of them amongst the IT training. Also, there was issue regarding work-life balance and health and well-being as well.
I thought all of the review was helpful because it takes a holistic approach. It took into account my personal life, it took into account hobbies, training, what kind of training that would be available, would I have the time, family commitments, so it was very much a holistic approach.
I've got to be a little bit cautious that we might start opening things that we can't get the lid back onto. So we're very aware that we're not going to do this in big groups, we're going to keep it on a one-to-one basis. And if people need to step back, and we need to know our own limitations, we need to know that if people need to go into counselling or whatever, we need to kind of stop the process and pass them on to someone that can take this up. But every time you meet somebody, you find something new about them. I think it's amazing.
I like to keep on working with the trade unions because I was initially given the chance to come and work with the Unionlearn with National Career Service by them themselves. They wanted to engage employers within the career service, and I was brought in secondment, and eventually they employed me to do the work when the secondment finished. So it's passionate about ensuring that the union learning reps are at the forefront of being within the workplace, encouraging their learners to take up learning, to increase their opportunities within the workplace, whether it's vocational learning, just reading, and also to make sure that the employers know that the union learning reps are the ones who are there, who can be turned to for non-formal learning within the workplace, and that a learner will go to a union learning rep before they go to the employer.
I think at the moment I would think a ULR is a valuable role because of the skills that you do achieve from a ULR and what you can pass on to people in the workplace, basically.
You might think you have all the answers, but of course bouncing off other people. So it's really good, and we know it's sustainable because we have got a good bank of ULRs and everybody can help out with each other. And we're training up now colleagues from the buildings across the water from us, so that we can go into another branch and hopefully they can pick it up in the same way.
New ULR, obviously I was one myself once, and obviously the role, the position has increased and improved greatly over the years, and I think National Career Service, obviously working with the trade unions, the Unionlearn and obviously the individual unions, it's a fantastic support that you've got on hand straight away to help your learners.
The fact that I'm a ULR it will help me in the future to do different projects, so else we can offer our members to develop and increase their learning capacity and skills.
Nuts and bolts of ULR work is it's identifying a skills gap or a training need, and then assisting your colleagues to search for that particular training, or provide that particular training, or work with management in order for them to provide that training. So it is in nuts and bolts ULR work. It is the fundamentals of being a union learning rep. It enables you to go out there and get that job done.
There's been a lot going on at Sunderland Council. Obviously, we've got a lot of associate partners within the organisation who are helping out, internal ones and external. So we've got CV writing, interview techniques, career development, resilience training and midlife review.
Initially completing about 20 of the forms to get everybody registered on the client frame, with a view to inviting someone in from the career service to give a talk and explain in further detail just what is available out there for everyone who's a member of the union.
Well, I found the climbing frame to be very helpful because you can keep all your reviews together and just add things on as they do new things.
We've also got the literacy numeracy. We've got higher skills qualifications. We've got ILM, CMI, and foundation degree tasters and progression routes on as well. So there's lots of things going on at the moment, and obviously entrepreneur workshops as well that we've moved on into as well.
Oh, the questionnaires we would send out prior to the review. It's just basically to get an overview of what the individual prioritises. There's a list of 15 questions, if I remember rightly, and they ordered them 1 to 15. And then basically that just gives us an overview prior to the review as to what this individual's interested in and what they consider to be the priorities in their life and their work or their personal life or the social life even. And that enables us then to just look at that, and it gives us a bit of a clue as to where the person wants to be, and we can then use the cards in order to reflect that or advise that from there.
The pre-review questionnaires are quite useful in that it helps to categorise their main sort of worries or concerns, and then it gives the ability to elaborate on the main ones to see what they particularly are interested in, so that you can try and tailor-make their sort of particular future on the climbing frame.
And we also do job fairs and learn events just to keep the learning theme going.
And the council were going through some redeployment, and as part of my role within the employment engagement team, I am working with redeployment. I started working with Howard, offering CV, interview skills, application form, helping the learners to find the staff to find out what was available out there that they could do, because a lot of them had come into the council from leaving school, had been there a long time and didn't even know what the jobs market was outside. My service is labour market focused, so I go around, we discuss with employers, businesses, learning providers, funding providers on what's needed out there. We go and find out in different sectors what is needed, what type of CV they need, what type of interviews they'll be having, what type of learning they're going to need. And eventually, because so many learners were coming to see Howard to access my service, that the management actually went to Howard and said, because this has been so successful, we want to embed it within our service and we started working with the HR department, and now they all go to Howard first to ask, is there some form of free learning you can bring into the workforce that will help the workforce? And then Howard contacts me and some of the other learning providers that I've brought into Howard to help get some free learning or some heavily discounted learning within the workplace for them.
Try it for yourselves, but try it with a colleague and try it with somebody who knows you. Because I think one of the things that's coming out, and maybe it's just a British thing, that people are always undervaluing what skills that they have. So although you might think you're not very developed in something, your colleague may think you are. As I say, people have ambitions to become musicians, or they have ambitions to do stuff which maybe they put on the back burner, and maybe just a friend say, well, actually you're really good at that, might then push them along to kind of pick up some of these dreams that they might have forgotten about.
I would advise anybody to go along with a midlife career review, and I'm speaking from experience, I've found it very helpful myself.
Warrington, for example, we went out there and delivered the career review there. I had to stand up in front of other ULRs, and it kind of gave me the extra confidence, to think, well, I've done some similar things in the past, so I just transferred those skills over to speaking in public in that respect.
There's obviously a great benefit in reviewing their careers. Anybody reviewing their career, male, female, young or old, or like me, due to retire, to think seriously, positively about the future and all of the aspects. There's no question about that.